All right, here we go, guys. First thing I want to say, yesterday was the best cigar I had. I don't know what what flavor I picked. Oh my god, it was so great. I only got one too. um, as you know, I don't smoke cigars. I don't smoke the tobacco cigar. You guys always think like I'm smoking a tobacco cigar. I'm actually smoking a flavored cigar, like a coffee, vanilla, chocolate, what is called butternut or butterscotch, and there's a cherry flavor. It's a flavored thing. It's like a flavored thing, like the cigar. That's what. Oh my god! Yesterday one that I had was so great. It was like blended coffee and chocolate. Ooh man, it was good. It was good. I know, but still. But the thing is, it's only tobacco. There's nothing, no chemicals, nothing in it. It just I'm telling you, when I smoke cigars and I look at a chart, oh man, it's crazy. You know, it's like it's just the chart just comes alive. But anyway, you don't need to know that. It's just for me to know. You to find out. So yeah, 2018, and I can finally, do this series. I've been waiting to do this series for a long time. Can anybody guess what series? Hey man, that's right. Cigar is just it's not remember cigarette and cigar are two different worlds. I have never smoked a cigarette ever. But cigar, I'm telling you, it's a completely different thing. It's a completely different level. Like if cigarettes are right here, cigar is like up here. And see, you don't do cigar every day. That's the thing about cigars. You do it on very, very unique special occasions. But yeah, finally 2018, I had promised myself maybe 3, 4 years ago that, you know what, between 2018 and 19, I want to start this series. So, what do you guys think this series is? And still, I'm going to get your opinion on it. Once this live session is done, I'm going to put two options, option one, option two. Whichever one gets the most like in about 2 week time period, we'll do that. Okay? No, it's not fixed stars. Nope, not fixed stars, man. It's not nakshatra. Nothing to do with nakshatra. Oh, you've been on my Facebook for sure, huh? Cheating there, cheating. So yes, I want to start on a series of planets through Navamsa chart, which is like the most passionate chart for me to work with. Planets through Navamsa, planets through sign through Navamsa, and I think it's time that you guys get to see the magic of Navamsa. And this is nothing to do with nakshatra. It's just you understand planets in a house. See, you may think like, for example, Jupiter is money and finance, right? Jupiter is money and finance, children, prosperity. But that is just for the birth chart. You don't understand what it's doing in the Navamsha. Jupiter in Navamsha. See, Jupiter represents the actual happiness that you get in the marriage in Navamsha. Jupiter's not money. Jupiter's not like representing children in Navamsha. It is the very first thing that it represents. When your eyes go into the Navamsha and you look at Jupiter, you see, okay, how much happiness this person is going to incur through marriage. Now you must be saying, well, I thought that was Venus. Venus is the happiness. No, nope, 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 nope. And I remember one of the magazines from Ken Rao's school that I subscribed to. I remember Mark Boney sent me like 10, 15 of them in a stack. They should be downstairs in my garage still, or not in a garage, in my basement. I still have to bring them out, but they were talking about these things. And Venus, represents the pleasure. How much pleasure are you going to get? Happiness is different, pleasure is different. See, pleasure can be sexual pleasure. You can get all the sexual pleasure you want in the marriage. But will that actually make you happy? Will that make you overall happy? See, these are the subtle differences from the birth to Navamsa. And you guys may think, well, wow, this is going to be very complicated things about studying planets through Navamsa. You guys don't understand. Planets through Navamsa is actually much more simpler than planets in the birth chart. So when we go through it, you guys will be like, oh, okay. So next time when you see Navamsa, you'll be able to see Navamsa through my eyes. How I look at it within, like, I would say within a minute's time, you will be able to quickly get the flavor of the Navamsa. Okay? And yes, I'm going to address all that. I'm going to address all, what if you don't get married? What does that do then in Navamsa? It's still doing something. Don't think just because you're not married, it's not doing something. It is still doing something. And then we'll discuss. Now, here's the thing about this Navamsa series. Navamsa series can be quite negative. Quite negative. It can actually show you the denial of marriage. It can show you absolute misery in marriage. And I'm going to try to give it from my own flavor so it doesn't come out as negative. But, it's there. It's there. You got to understand, astrology is not, bed of cherry roses. I don't know if there's such a thing, but there's negative things. But I always planned do it either in 2018 or 19, and I just feel like I just want to do it. However, I want to make sure if I should do Navamsa, planets through Navamsa, or if I should do the series that I was talking about, planets, simply the karkas of planet. What does planet represents in astrology? So that would be my option too. So once my Venus through nakshatras are done, I'm gonna, or I'm sorry, now that I've finished my houses series, I was talking about starting planets, right? Planets through, or to understanding the planets, what Rahu represents, what Sun represents. I mean, Sun, Rahu, all they can all represent anything and everything. Like one of the planets will represent the stapler, okay? This gold stapler. One of the planets will represent this lighter. One of the planets could represent this actual, cutter, cigar cutter. So they represent everything and anything that you see around you. So I'm not sure if you want to know that first, or if you want me to go over, planets through Navamsa. Like for example, if let's say we start with the sun in the birth chart represents where the ego lies. What does the ego wants to experience? Ego is something which is you're manifesting in this three-dimensional world, in this illusionary world, whatever the hell you want to call it. Okay. Like, this is me, look at me, I am Kapil Raj. This is how I represent myself. So wherever my sun is, I'm representing myself through there. In Navamsa, it's going to represent something different. It's going to represent the ego through marriage, ego through the life partner. And it'll represent, other things besides if, let's say, you don't ever get married, you're a brahmacharya, or you have a denial of marriage, it'll still work in a certain way. So all of these different scenarios we can discuss. So that's something I'm gonna, once this live thing is done and it processes, I'm gonna put option one, option two. So whichever one gets the most likes, I'll start on that. But I just want to let know, especially the ladies. all the young women out there, be careful when you watch my series of Navamsha planets through houses, because the last thing that I want to do is I want to have anybody run panic, have anybody, run scared. Because I've always said in the last 9 years that I've been on YouTube that, okay, well, this planet is doing this in this house, like, right, like Ketu in the seventh house is doing this. But then I always say in those end of the video that, well, you got to check the position of your Navamsha too. See what really will happen. Will it be good or bad? So now that I'll discuss Navamsha, um, if it's negative, it is going to be negative. It's not like there's some, you know, something that can be changeable, unless, of course, your own willpower is there, blessings of a guru is there. That changes everything. Like for me, blessings of a guru changed. For me, those bad things that were supposed to happen 4 years ago, they didn't, because in 2010 I met a guru. Blessed me, man. I saw the blessings. I saw the blessings of that guru. Actually, it was that guru's bhatija. This guru, his bhatija actually gave me a reading through Yahoo chat. He did not want to reveal his name. He didn't want to reveal his identity, where he's from, but because he's very spiritual and he just saw everything. He could describe my entire room. In 2009, he says, "Okay, you have this, this, this. You have this thing on sitting on top of your door." I'm like, "Yeah, it's there." He says, "Remove that." I'm like, okay, I'll remove it. He says, "Do you have this spider web in front of this window?" He says, "Okay, clean that right away." I'm like, "Oh my god, who is this person?" So that's when I, you know, got the blessings. That's when I to this day, whoever that person is, thank you so much, and thank you to the gurus. I mean, this is in the entire family of the guru, So, trust me, my life has been very interesting. Between 2008 and 2010, um, the miracles that I experienced, that really just made me a believer beyond astrology. That there's something much bigger than astrology and occult. There's just something else working, and so that's what I, you know, bow to, the powers that are working. So yeah, if you find a guru like that, then forget Navamsha, tear up your Navamsha, tear up your birth chart, just live your life. But for those who are interested, just know that it is going to have negative implication. And trust me, I will put my warning before every video. I will put that warning in, just so you can be careful that, okay, do I really want to watch this or no? Because once you watch it, and I'm going to write this on my warning, that I'm not responsible. I have warned you. It's your choice to watch this video. So now we're going into that deeper end. It's like, there comes a time in every organization, whether it's run by a single person or run by 20 people, that, they take the next step up. And I think that moment has come where we take step up into our journey of this mystical science of astrology. Do I sound like Steve Jobs? Do I sound like Steve Jobs before he introduces a product? But that's what I'm trying to say. That be careful. Um, I'll be careful on my end. How much negativity should I say? Um, Perhaps you should read between the lines, but yeah, I think it's time. I think you guys are ready, really, because that's the fun. That's the fun. See, Navamsha has been my some reason since 2007. I have been all about Navamsha. It just became my passion. Through Pi Team, oh man, it took my Navamsha thing to another level. Through Eve and through Pi Team, and especially thanks to Das Gurvani, who actually was one of the first geniuses to come up with Navamsha nakshatras in every divisional chart. So all of that just completely changed things. I mean, I don't say it a lot. I don't talk about it a lot because why? Because of the fact I know it can throw people in panic. So I never say those things. But I think it's something that has needs to be discussed. There's nothing written on it online. There's no planets through. There's no book on planets through Navamsa. There's no science planets through science through Navamsa. But the thing is, once you know that 2 plus 2 equals 4 in the birth chart, it's very easy to understand how 2 plus 2 equals to sometimes -4, sometimes -10, sometimes 6 in the Navamsa. So it just somehow just works up here. And through that, through looking at charts and just seeing, you just get it. So this is something that I just want to share because I love sharing, right? Because if you had a expensive scotch, $5,000 diamond scotch, I'm sure you're gonna share that with me, right? So I'm here sharing that with you. So yeah, we will see how you guys decide. See, I'm gonna put this. I'm a very democratic person. I'm not a Republican. I'm very liberal and democratic. I take your opinion, your choices, and I go by that. Okay, so we'll do that. And otherwise, I also have very, a creative way of showing you what the planet stands for. Like our planet is like understanding sun thoroughly. And let me also say this, that if you knew what sun, what Mars, what Venus, the karkas that they represent, the items that they represent, and then when you study the Navamsha, even more beautiful. So decide on that. Okay. And I've been reading this one of this great books actually. This book is like a book of omens. Like you can open up any chapter and it just kind of like resonates with either the charts that you read today or the things that you go through. It's like a very omen. It's a book of like a book of oracle. And I read this. Do you know what it is? It's this. Chamatkar Chintamani. I try to read this like every night. I have like I have to repeat things. The way my brain works, I have to keep reading like the same paragraph maybe 7 times, 8 times for me to then grasp it. Otherwise, I can't grasp it. So I do that. But yeah, this is a very good book. But yeah, it's just full of its all negativity as well. So, but this is a great book. So yeah, read this. That's my because I got my library back here, man. I just reach out. So and okay, so yeah, about Rahu and Ketu in Navamsha. Rahu and Ketu are always giving the surprise element in the Navamsha. They're always giving the what do you call foreign element in Navamsha. And Rahu does one thing, Ketu does one thing in Navamsha. That's another thing. I won't say it because just by knowing that one thing with Rahu and Ketu, I'm sure you're all gonna go to your Navamsha quickly and be like, oh, trust me, it's all gonna come. But it's gonna be great. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say here. Otherwise, if you're new to my channel, subscribe below. Again, if you don't know what your Navamsha is like, so you can see the planets ahead, what sign they're in, what house they're in. For that, go to my link astrologycares.com under shop section. You'll find the report. I'll see you tomorrow with our conjunction series.